So we are live on Facebook and YouTube right now. And of course, I'll let you know if any comments come through on Facebook and YouTube. And I guess you can monitor Instagram if you're able to do both. And FYI, there you go. I was like, you disappeared.
I'm able to see on. Yeah, I went off for like a second, but I'm back on. I'm able to see on Instagram. Yes.
Awesome, perfect. All right, so today is Monday. It's Monday, February. What is today's date? February 8th?
I don't know. Eighth,
Yes.
seventh, ninth.
I believe it's the 8th. And welcome everyone. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, so it's like we're in the second month of the year. I feel like the time
Yes,
is going by
already February, y'all.
so fast. It's
But
just going by.
January felt kind of long for me. I don't know.
It did. It felt very fast for me. I'm like,
Yeah.
how did we get to February already?
Yeah.
It was very, very fast. But let's introduce ourselves for those that are just coming in. And then also, we do have a name for the show. So I think we need to keep practicing and saying the new name so that
The,
people know what this show is.
the entrepreneurial life. That's so awkward.
Yes, the
Eventually, it's gonna
entrepreneurial
roll off
life.
my tongue some kind of way.
Right. That's why we
Um,
gotta practice.
I'm gonna practice it in the mirror. Practice making some cool faces while saying it.
Yeah.
So I'm happy to be here on this Monday. It's Black History Month, y'all. Woo,
Yes.
woo. Yes, February is Black History Month, and I'm proud to be Black. Um, yeah, but
And
I'm
you are
happy to be here
glowing.
with, huh?
You're glowing. I love this lighting on you.
You know what? I got this new lighting, and it makes me look amazing. I'm just like, I mean, I'm not saying I don't look amazing without the lighting. I'm just saying like the lighting just added like extra illumination. I'm like, ooh,
Yes. I'm like, I need
that.
to feel flat.
No, a little
I
highlighter
think
don't
I'm
hurt
looking
neither.
ashy. I'm looking real ashy over here.
Get you one of them little circle ring lights, girl.
I'm about to. I'm about to move this table and see it goes to the light.
There we go. I see them pearly whites. Yes, girl. That lip gloss popping. Yes. Look at you, girl. Shining now.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
You
So
look good in
today,
any lighting. So,
oh, thank you, thank you,
yeah.
thank you. Yes.
We did talk about this? Yeah, we did, right?
Well, the topic is just checking in, right? And
Sheikah Savvy said you not ashy. She know,
thank
and she
you,
know, because she's the makeup and all of that.
thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, yeah, today is about just checking in with everyone. Do you want to share with everyone how did we come to this topic? What was like, what was happening in your mind when we came up with this?
Well, this topic came about from a conversation that you and I had recently about something that we was dealing with around the same time, and we didn't even know that we were dealing with that issue around the same time because we didn't really check in with each other on it. And I don't think we like fully checked in with ourselves too while we were dealing with it,
Mm-hmm.
but we ended up having a conversation, and it was like, breakthrough.
Yes.
through through getting away from that space that we were in. And just being able to like relate to you on it, made me feel like, wow, those moments where I'm not like feeling my best, I'm not in my best headspace, and it's like days and days that's going by and I'm still in that space, like I'm not by myself. You're not by yourself, and we don't have to deal with it by ourselves. We need to just, check in.
Right.
So,
Absolutely. So I
yeah.
guess we can share what was happening just to give people a background of,
Yes, yes. You
what
wanna
we were
you wanna do
dealing
that?
with. Yeah. So last week, I was in some type of weird mood. I was just in a space where I'm like, okay, we're still in quarantine. I kind of just want to go out and just like have fun. But then at the same time, I'm feeling unproductive because I'm like drifting off mentally because I want to go do something else. So then now I'm start getting in my head like, okay, I'm not being productive enough. It doesn't feel as hectic as it did last year. So I just started going in my mind and just really just creating all of these different scenarios, and it created a whole mood for me where I was just up and down. And I really just felt like, okay, what what can I do during this quarantine that will allow me to not feel like I'm just stuck between, stuck within four walls. Um, and then also not feeling like I'm not being productive with my business. And what's funny, and I guess we're going to talk more in depth with this in one of our
Yeah.
later topics, but just to give you guys a little snippet, is that I started to feel like I wasn't doing as much as I did last year because during the pandemic, well, when it began, it was like things were just happening from left to right, left to right, left to
Fast,
right.
right?
And I was just felt like I was, overwhelmed. So now we're in this new year and I don't feel so overwhelmed. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I want to go, do other things. But what I realize is that what was for me last year is now different for me this year. Like I actually mastered what was happening last year, that this year it actually seems much lighter and easier. And I actually am doing something different and put new things in place so that I don't have that overwhelm, right? Because all last year we were talking about, you know, new habits, new behaviors that we need to put in
Right.
place so that we don't feel overwhelmed. So now that I don't feel overwhelmed, I'm like, okay, what is next? And not realizing like I'm still productive. I'm still in school. I'm still running my business, growing that, and actually working on new content because now we have the L Spot Productions back up and running. And
Yay.
these lives with Chantel is one of the first shows that we're creating, and we're also working on two more shows that should be coming out this year. So it's not like I'm not productive, but I guess what people are calling it COVID exhaustion or cabin fever. I'm getting, and so I was just in these like
That sounds
all
like a horror
different
movie,
moods.
Cabin Fever. Sorry.
No, but I mean, it's just a whole bunch of different moods and energy, that was
Yeah.
happening. And I'm sure most of us are probably dealing with that right now, um, of just figuring out where we are as far as, just keeping that joy, keeping that productivity, and not going sane because we're stuck inside. Especially this week is a whole snowstorm. So that means it's a whole nother week inside the house. But Chantel, I guess you can share what was it that you were dealing with.
Yeah. So for me, um, you know, before COVID happened and before we were all like quarantined, I was doing a million things. Like I had two jobs, two businesses, a kid, a family. So I was always doing a lot. Like that was my lifestyle for so many years. Like I just love to be busy, I guess. Um, so COVID happened, the pandemic happened, I'm home. Now, the pandemic was different for me because even though I wasn't working those two jobs anymore, I decided to just let everything go and hold on to my businesses and develop that and just become a full time entrepreneur. I was still pretty busy during the pandemic. Like Empress, like work was just coming in, every day was something, long days. I was always doing something. So fast forward to this year, you know, I made a lot of progress. I've been very productive, but my schedule is not nearly as busy as it used to be. It's still busy, but not like how it used to be. It's more like, you know, it's more productive than me just doing a bunch of jobs and filling up every single time slot in my day. And I just got into this space where I felt like you, Empress, like I just felt like I wasn't doing enough. I felt like, you know, um I felt a little bit like unmotivated and uninspired too,
Mhm.
and I just couldn't figure out why. So um I would say like a week went by, and then I got to a point where I was just like, I was in a funk, and I just got to this space where I was just like, okay, I'm I'm learning about investing in real estate. I'm taking a course. I'm running my businesses. My family. I'm doing a lot still. But because I know how to do my schedule now, because I know how to be, productive and not busy, um, I have more time to take a nap or to just sit and think, or to sit and not think. But in the beginning, I was just taking that in as something like so negative, like I'm not doing enough, I'm not making enough progress, yada yada yada. And it was just those negative thoughts just flooding my mind and just funking up my mood, because I was so used to doing things the way that I was doing it, that when I finally had this time to just sit my butt down, I got into that funk. But I'm glad that I got out of it. And what like sealed the deal for me was when I had that talk with you, 2 nights ago, and realizing that, wow, Empress is dealing with almost an identical situation, and we didn't know. But if we would have picked up the phone and been like, "Hey, girl, I'm feeling mad
Mhm.
funky right now,"
Yes.
or if I would have been like, "Hey, girl, how you feeling this week?" And because that's not, I guess we don't always like think about it right away, because we're
Mhm.
so used to just handling things, that we
Mhm.
even treat ourselves like that sometimes. Like we're not checking in on ourselves and taking that moment and like, hey, okay, let's figure out what's not right, or let's pick up the phone and talk to somebody and see if they might be experiencing the same thing, because it seems like a lot of us sometimes experience the same things, but because we're not used to like really checking in on each other, we don't really be knowing that.
Right.
So that was my deal.
Right. No, but what we concluded is that we're gonna check in on each other more often.
Yes. Yep.
That was something that we're gonna do, like really create this environment where we're like, hey, how are you? What's going on? What's new? How are you feeling? Like, um,
Absolutely.
because we are always feeling like we can handle it, we can take it on. Like yesterday, I found out a family member got killed.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh my
And
God.
although
Uh,
I didn't really know that person, um, I was more closer to his sister.
right.
And I just felt that she was, heartbroken and everything. And with that, I just started to break down. And mind you, I'm in the middle of service, like a production, and I'm breaking down. And normally I can hold it together.
Right.
Normally I could hold it together. I'm like, all right, I'll deal with this a little later, um, and just let that be. But for some reason, yesterday I just started bawling. Just started bawling right during production in the control room. Nobody really knew because I was like still trying to like keep it
Hold it in.
quiet.
Yeah.
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 And I realized that it's okay. It's okay to be emotional. It's okay to, break down, especially in front of people. It's okay. We don't have to be tough all the time. And
Yes.
letting people know, because like yesterday, and it's funny because after our conversation we had concluded like, we'll call each other, check in and stuff like that. And when I was going through it during that moment, I was still trying to keep it all to myself. Like if I really look at what was happening.
This is what you're used to doing.
Mhm.
I feel like, sorry to cut you up, but I just feel like we're not yet comfortable with being vulnerable just in general whenever we need to. And it's like, why is that? You
Mhm.
know?
No, that's so true. And I think it's something that I think it's in our culture
Mm-hmm.
that we have to be tough.
I agree.
Um because I mean, I just look at growing up, like I rarely seen any of the women cry in my family.
Mm-hmm.
I rarely seen any of the men in our family cry. It's like it's not until now that I'm an adult and I'm finding out all the things that they dealt with, and I'm like, how did you stay so strong? And then I find out, like, some of the family members, they would cry in private. They would cry in private. There's some things that they didn't tell each other until now as an adult, or much older, I should
That
say.
makes me want to cry right now. Like I don't know why that makes it makes me emotional because it's like, you know, that's a problem. Like that we I don't know. I just it's like why is it that we feel like we have to hide our tears or hide our sadness or hide any of that? And the fact that we're in, you know, a social media age where a lot of people spend a lot of their time on social media and creating a perfect picture for everyone to see, you know, and no one's really seeing when they're not at their best, when they're not, you know, doing that well or anything like that. So it's like that doesn't even make the situation better, you
Mm,
know. So if you're already coming from that type of culture or that type of upbringing, and then you go out into the world and it's the same thing, it's like, when do you have that moment when you allow yourself to be vulnerable and say, hey, I'm hurting, I'm sad, I'm this, I'm that, I need a day, I need a week, you know. um just
yeah,
why we need to normalize that, we really do, and that's why I'm glad that we do what we do the way that we do it, because like we don't come on here perfect. Y'all see all our technical difficulties that we be having and everything, you know, like I'm not coming on here just like I know everything, you know. We open this up for a conversation for all of us to be able to have and share and connect with each other in that type of way, you know, so that we have a space that feels safe enough to say, you know, I don't know, or I've been doing business for 7 years and I still don't know. Help
mm-hmm.
me figure it out. You know, like it's okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't.
Yeah,
It makes me a bit sad, and I'm just happy though that I'm raising my daughter different. Like I'm like, feel what you feel. Let's go through those motions. What's going on? Let's
yeah.
talk about it.
Chic and Savvy. I was about to say the full company name, but Chic and Savvy. She said it's the feeling of no one cares, especially in these times. And
No.
I before I started cleaning up, meaning my image and like the way that I do things on social media, because years ago,
Right.
like before you met me, I'll probably say a little bit during the time you met me too. I used to vent a lot on social media, right? But it wasn't like to to tell all my business.
Right.
It was more of I'm dealing with something and I'm not sure who to go to. Um, and I'm also sure someone else may be experiencing this or have experienced this, and maybe someone can help me. Because at that time, I don't think I had my page public or anything, it was private.
Right.
Obviously, if you're friends with me on Facebook, that means I actually know you for the most part at that time. So I would always share a lot of things that I would be dealing with. And I remember this person, he was like, you're always so sad. You're always like dark and like all of this stuff. And because he said that, even though I was like, oh, I'm just expressing myself, it was still in the back of my head that I
Yeah.
started to like not say anything at all. And then started going through a phase where I was just dealing with everything by myself. And that's
Yeah.
when I had my
Thing is,
breakdown because I was holding it all in instead of like letting it out. And not saying you got to let everything out because I wasn't doing that. I was just sharing certain things or certain feelings or experiences.
right.
Um, but it's like you do have those that may say that they don't care. You do may have those that may, and I get it because whatever you read and whatever you see, it can affect you too. So I mostly get that. Um, And now that I'm thinking about it, when I see those things, maybe it's finding a way to be encouraging to
Right.
that person and not looking at it as they're affecting me. How can I affect them to have a positive experience from what they're currently experiencing in this moment?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I feel like that's what it's really about, like not really judging someone for sharing, but figuring out a way to, I guess, like be a light to them as well. And also just to like go back a little bit too, I don't think I really shared much of my um upbringing, but my my mom did a great job at creating a very good perception
Mm.
of things that were not good. So then that's how I ended up doing. I'm very good at just making things that's like, making making poop look pretty.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
um so that was something that I struggle with. And then it puts you, when you're not talking about your real feelings, it just puts you in a place of everything just being okay all the time when it's not okay. But
Hmm.
I'm glad I'm not in that space anymore. I haven't been in that space for a long time. But we should we should feel okay to share when we're not okay.
Yeah.
We should feel and no one should be judging anyone for that. I feel like these platforms should be for that. Like, if you don't have anyone in your life personally that you feel comfortable enough to check to say, you're not okay, or you need someone to talk to, or anything like that, then you should be able to go on social media and vent a little bit and then get feedback from people that's encouraging. And
Yeah.
I've seen that. I've seen people do that. I've seen people that normally don't vent online, but for some reason, I guess in their personal life, they don't have anyone that's checking on them.
Hmm.
So, one day you see them and they're venting, and it's like, wow, I've never seen this from this person. And then you see a bunch of people just outpouring of encouragement and things like that. Because it's like we're all dealing with stuff, whether you're working 9 to 5, whether you're staying at home, running businesses or whatever. Like, we all have those personal things that we're dealing with. And we all need to really just make sure we're checking in with ourselves to make sure we're good, and checking up on other people as well. And
Yeah.
letting people know when we're not good. Like, it's okay.
Yeah. I was as you were talking, I was like, I'm probably one of those people that once in a blue you'll probably see me post something like I did maybe a couple of months ago where I was like, I'm not feeling, so like myself, can share a memorable moment with me. That was something that I did to try to switch my
I like
own life,
that.
and it worked. Like people shared some of their, fondest memories of me, some of the silly ones, some of the past ones. Um, and that brought me joy. That brought me back to a space of like, okay, I'm human again. Because I think, especially for women like us, we are known as the strong ones. We got it together.
Right. Right.
That even if
That's
I
true.
was to share with someone, majority of the time I would get, well, you good, Empress. You got this. You'll figure it out. And I'm like, no, in this moment, I need someone to figure it out for me. Like,
Right?
like, what? Tell me what to do. Like,
I don't have all the answers right now.
even if I didn't know what to do, I'm like, I need someone to pour into me because I'm always pouring into others.
Check on
And
your strong friends, y'all. Check on them
right,
strong ones. They be
right.
struggling.
That quote is real, though. It's real, and
Heavy.
I've been
Oh
saying
Lord.
that for a long time.
It's so real. And I still remember clear as day today the moment that I broke down a few years ago, because I felt like I was giving so much of myself to family and friends, emotionally, like physically, everything. And no one was giving anything back to me. Like, I felt emptied, like completely emptied. And from that day I was like, that's it, because I can't you can't empty yourself out to the point to where you feel like you have nothing left to give yourself when you need that something,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, literally, it's not like you literally don't have anything left to give, but it's like your energy is just sucked
Mm-hmm.
out and nobody's helping to replenish that, you know. So find those people that you can talk to, or that person that you can talk to, and just from time to time. And I like what you said about doing posts like that, with sharing a memory, or say something encouraging today, like letting someone know that you need to hear an encouraging word or something like that. But I know for me, sometimes when I would get in those spaces, and I'm not saying like I'm never gonna get in those spaces again. I'm sure I am, because I was in one a week ago.
Right.
um, I tend to like isolate myself.
Yeah.
So if y'all don't hear from me and it's been a minute, something ain't right.
That means we need to
Hit
check
your
in.
girl up.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
But I'm working on breaking that habit, and I've gotten a lot better with it, because I used to do it a lot. Like, I used to be like, disconnect,
Yeah.
you know. So, but I've gotten better with that, because now I'm aware of it. Like, I check in with myself and be like, all right, you're going through something, don't do that. Find someone you can talk to, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. And I actually had to talk to my coach about it. And I was just like, I'm like, I don't know why I feel like this. I kept going back and forth. I was like, I feel like I sound crazy. Because
Oh,
I'm
that's
not
how it
sure.
makes you feel. Like, you can't
Yeah.
pinpoint exactly what it is.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I loved of what she said is like, it's okay. You're just in the mood. This will pass. Like you'll be all right. But she said to not make any meaning of it, to
Mm.
just be with it. So be with the emotions. So if you're sad, be sad. If you're
Say
happy,
that louder
be
for them. Like,
happy.
did y'all hear
Like
that? I love that. Say that
just
again.
be just be with that emotion. So whatever you're feeling in that moment, just be with it. So if you're sad, be sad. If you're angry, be angry. If you're happy, be happy. Like whatever that mood is, be with it and don't make any meaning to it. Don't question it, like why am I feeling this way? Because I have that habit. I'd be like, why? I don't understand. Like it was all good just an hour
Just
ago.
a week
Why?
ago, ago.
Right? And I just start getting in my head about everything and just trying. Now I'm like looking in my past, like, okay, what happened in my past that
Well,
is triggering
every
me?
scenario plays out. You be like,
Right.
was it this
and,
person? I need to cut that person off. No, was it that like?
and the whole thing is just being with it. It's just being with it. Like you don't have to always be perfect. And I think that with because this is all happening within this week, that yesterday with what I shared with you guys of the loss in my family, I was confused of why I was crying and upset, the way that I was, and that I wasn't even able to hold my composure. Like I was not able to keep. Oh, I guess I was able to keep it together for nobody to really notice. But it was like normally you won't see the tears. Normally you won't see my eyes red. You won't see me pacing back and forth. Like at least I didn't see me doing that. And
Right.
um, in that moment, I just had to be with that. And even with last week prior to that, of the moods I was going through, I just had to be with that. And once I got with that, I was actually able to be productive. I was actually able to do other things and not really think about it anymore. So
You
instead
know,
of
it's funny.
writing,
It's funny because I did what you just said, but I didn't realize that that's what I did. That's what helped me, but I didn't realize I was doing that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, as far as the not attaching anything to it and just finally just accepting. Yeah.
yeah. So I think that's probably, if we had to put this in steps, I would probably say, if you're not okay, check in with yourself. I love that you say that. And then two, if you still not able to get yourself out of it, then hit up a friend. See, speak to them, let them know what's going on. You never know, they may be dealing with something too, and it's good to hear, like how we just started talking about it, and it was like, oh my gosh, me too.
I don't even know how we got on that. I honestly do not remember how we got on the topic. Like, I don't. We was talking about the show, the docu series, and I don't even know.
I don't know. I don't. Yeah, I stopped the recording. I was like, maybe I could play back the recording. No, I actually stopped it. But I mean, it was a moment that needed to be had, and I think with us not remembering it from details is that we were being in the moment.
Yeah,
We were being in
yeah,
the moment, not trying to think so much about it. And we were just we actually created a solution.
right.
And I think that was the most important part, that we didn't just let it be like, okay, well, you deal what you deal with, and I deal with what I deal with.
You gonna be fine, girl.
You'll be all right. But
And
no, we
sometimes
said, mhm,
no, and sometimes saying that does a little bit more damage than actually helping, because now you're, reaffirming a thought that I already had, which is I could just deal with this on my own, which is that's
mhm,
not always the healthiest way to deal when you're going through something. Sometimes you need a different perspective, and depending on the depth or how long you stay in that mood, you might even need to speak with a therapist if it
yeah,
goes on for a long time. But the most important part is making sure that you be aware of yourself and connect with whatever you're feeling. And if it goes on longer, then take the necessary step you need to take. If you need to go to therapy and you feel like talking to a friend or anyone else won't help.
yeah. You know what I also thought of? Thank you, God, for that. So the power of community.
Mm,
Because so with the experience yesterday, and it's just so weird because I'm just like, normally I'll just deal. And what I did when I got home, because I didn't even tell everybody at the production, I only told one person. But after that, I just went home. And then I was just like, I need to tell my church community. I'm like, I need prayers, but not prayers for me, prayers for my family.
right.
And it was like I was fighting to make that request because I'm not used to making requests like that. And this is probably my second or third time me doing, like, having that battle.
Mm-hmm.
And every time my church family shows up, they're like, we're going to pray for you. What is it that you need from us? And like when they ask that question, I'm like, I don't even really know. But the fact that they all called me, like I was getting calls today, I got a call last night as soon as I messaged them. um that just showed, the power and the love of community. And it's like, it doesn't matter if it wasn't someone that was related to you or not. I am connected to you, and I want to make sure that you're good. And with your being good, that means making sure that your family is good.
Exactly.
And like, even like for one of them, they was like, whenever they come up with the funeral, like, I'll come with you, I'll be right there. I never had that. I never had that experience of where someone will be like, I'll be there for you in that type of way. And I'm really learning, and I'll say that I'm learning this as we're speaking right now, that it's important to share. It's important to keep your community in a loop, because this is a community that I engage with every day. You guys are a community that I engage with every day.
Yep.
And if something happens to me, or if I do something, crazy, it's like, where did it come from? Right? Or there was no like interjection to prevent me from going into insanity, or whatever that possibility could be, if I'm not able to check it myself.
Right.
And I'm sure that there's many other people, that deals with that all the time and feel like they're alone. Like I used to feel like that extremely, when I was younger, I felt like I was alone. Even still to this day, like I told you, like I felt like I was alone. But I'm like, I technically am not. I have all of you guys. Why
I
don't I just pick up the phone?
I felt the same. It's funny because growing up, even though I come from a big family, oldest of five, always had a bunch of family around me. It's the same thing. And it's not, and I would say for me, my understanding of it, of feeling alone, even though you have all those people around you, is because I wasn't able to connect with anyone around me. Um, I wasn't able to be vulnerable. I didn't feel safe enough to be vulnerable towards anyone, because it's like if you can't be that way with your mom or your dad, who is should be the closest people to you, then sometimes you don't feel that comfortable to be that way with anyone else, especially when you're raised in an environment to not really show your emotions, like even if no one's saying it, but they're this is how they're because kids, they learn by seeing. They don't really, you can tell them a million things, they don't listen to that. They learn by seeing stuff. So if that's what you grow up seeing, then you start to understand that, okay, this is how I should always be, and I don't need to bring my emotions to someone else. Or even with my mom saying, there's people in the world with so many problems, they're starving people, so then that kind of invalidates your feelings.
Yeah.
So then as an adult, you're like, oh, there's worse issues in the world. I could take care of this on myself. It's just me having a bad day, or it's just me having a bad week. I can handle this on my own. But like you said, Empress, we don't have to, because we have communities. You
Hmm.
know, this platform, all of us here, we're a community. Your church is a community. So when you're dealing with something, talk about it,
Yeah.
because you talking about it could help to heal someone else also that could be dealing with the same thing, you
Yeah.
know?
And it was funny when you brought up what your mom would say. And at the same time, I was thinking about my mom's reaction when actually called her this morning and told her what happened. And I'm not gonna lie, she was very cold. Like I was looking for comfort
I
and
think that's their upbringing. Did your mom grow up?
right,
Yeah, I think, yeah.
right. And that's where it's like, okay, we really do have to break that generational curse because like I said, I've rarely seen the women in my family cry. I really seen them get emotional. We were always strong. We were always able to hold everything down no matter what comes our way. So like when I did call my mom, and I love you, mom, if you're watching this, um, and not to
Same
put
here,
you out
mama.
there, not to put you out there like that, but then it's real though. It's real,
I mean,
it's real thing.
it's not like we're talking about these experiences in a malicious way to say, "Oh, well, my mom was a bad parent." It's more
Yeah,
like this is what they knew, so this is what they taught us. Not saying it's healthy, not saying it was something that was good for us, but they did what
yeah,
they knew, and we carried it on. But now we're breaking that. We're breaking away from
yeah,
that. So
yeah. And I think it's very important for us to be able to do that, because like I forgot where I heard this, but um when you are born you make sounds. You're not able to communicate with words, right? You're only able to cry, to maybe laugh a little bit, smile a little bit, or whatever else. And with that, those are valid emotions, right? You don't tell a baby to suck it up and you'll be all right. You're trying to figure out what's wrong because you're
right,
not able to communicate. So sometimes if we cry, if we feel sad, or if we're quiet, that means, most of the times there may be something going on that we just don't know how to communicate and
exactly,
to just, check in. Even if we be like, I don't want to talk about it right now. But even with that, that's something that we have to break too, of saying, I don't want to talk about it right now because we're only just holding everything in and we're just keep adding on and adding on. Like we think we dealt with it, but we really didn't. We just put it in our little like box or somewhere in our closet. And
mm-hmm.
then something else happens and we're like, all right, I'm going to deal with it. Then put that in the
Put it in
closet,
a box.
and it just keeps growing and
Yep.
growing until it can't fit in that closet no more.
Absolutely. I have a little bit of a different perspective of the not wanting to talk about it. So you have that side of it, which you just explained, and then you have the other side of it where you don't know how to verbalize what you're feeling
Mm-hmm.
because you're not used to that, you know.
Right.
And I wanted to talk about the different sides because that's how I used to react. Like, if I had the opportunity to talk about it, I didn't talk about it because I didn't know how to verbalize it,
Mm-hmm.
because I just wasn't used to it.
Mm-hmm.
So, for anyone who experiences that, when you just can't put it into words because you're really not used to just talking about how you feel and it being okay, um, just say it however you need to say it. Like, it doesn't need to sound right, it doesn't need to sound perfect. There's
Yeah.
no manual, there's no right way to say, well, I'm feeling this way, that way, this way. Even like you said, when you was talking about your feelings and it just didn't make sense. Sometimes it's not going to make sense, and that's okay. But,
Mm-hmm.
you know, talk about it anyway. So don't let the fear of not saying the right thing or not knowing what to say stop you from vocalizing what you're feeling, you know.
Right. Absolutely.
I just want to add that part in there.
Yes, no, that's good. I do want to give a time check. So it is 10:40 p.m.
Yeah.
Do we want to continue? Did any matter of fact, does anyone have any other thoughts? I am reading like some of the comments, but does anyone have any other thoughts that you want to share before we close out? Feel free to write us any questions or any experience
Lanice
that
said
you
not
need to share.
today. Let's address Sai because she said that I had saw something she wrote when she came in. She said that she was experiencing that currently. So I guess what we were talking about,
Oh, I didn't see that.
it's like all the way up when she first came in.
Oh, I see a lot of people said stuff.
Yeah, I tried to respond to whoever.
I think we can start with Chic and Savvy. She said, I have a flight or a fight response. Um, Shanice Gibbs said, I'm calling you quick fast if I don't hear from you. Women
That's
in
sweet. Thank you,
Business.
Auntie.
Aw. Women in Business Rock said, be with that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Harmonize and Heal with Sai said, I can relate experiencing that currently. And Shanice Gibbs said, we don't always have to know, just feel it. Um, let's see.
You feeling it over there?
It's cold over here.
He like,
Oh yeah, give us your feedback.
give us some feedback. You in the room. You don't have to be on
Yes.
camera if you don't want to. Just say something. Oh, now you
No,
want to
no,
be.
I like that community, and they have like a community outreach, everybody like are going through some of the similar things, and I like the fact that you express that you're not alone. I think that's pretty cool. I like that.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
feeling a little alone, and then I started feeling a little part of the community. I'm like, all right, cool. We all going through something, so we all going through it, so we might as well grow through it. You know what I mean?
I love
Absolutely.
that. What he said. He said we going through it, so we might as well grow through it.
Absolutely. And
Yes.
doing that as a community, I'm sure that everyone got something out of today's live. So I think it's important for us to share, and I'm grateful that we created this platform to be able to share our experiences from our personal lives to our entrepreneurial lives. And I mean, it's all one life, but just the different aspects of it. Just being able to be open with that, I think that this is great, and just for everyone to share back with us as well. I think that's amazing.
Let's address real quick. Sheik and Savi said, "Do you miss your old routines?" I that was my problem, which is crazy because it's like, who wants to be working a million jobs and always busy, busy, busy to the point of like exhaustion? But I guess because I was used to it, I missed it.
Mhm.
Because it made me feel productive, I missed it. So I had to, and which I still am, recondition my mind and myself to understand that being extremely busy doesn't mean productive.
Mhm.
So now I'm in a space where I don't miss it, and I understand that now I have a healthy lifestyle. Then that wasn't healthy. So
Mhm.
I no longer miss it. But I did at one point up until a week ago. So it's
I
still
see that.
fresh and new, but I have a better understanding and I have a different perspective of how I look at it. So now I don't miss it no more. But that was a great question, Chic and Savvy. I was gonna say Janice.
Janice.
That was a great question, Janice. Sai also said, from my own experience, I'll share with my community and still find myself rejecting the support and assistance offered because of the need to prove that I can do it on my own and I can figure it out myself. It's such an internal battle with my own stubbornness and self sabotaging behavior. I have literally learned how to be receptive and open to allowing my family to help me, even when it contradicts my beliefs. Wow.
Mhm.
That that was I think, I mean, I could say I've dealt with that too. Um we all have those ways in which we sabotage ourselves, and we feel like we can just, we want to show that we're strong and we're superwoman, so we want to do everything on our own. And it's like, great, you can do it on your own. Everyone knows that else. I'm sure they know that you can do it on your own because they're watching you do it. But
Mhm.
it's nothing wrong with getting help. It's nothing wrong with asking for help and taking the help. um and just because you can do something on your own, or because you can deal with things on your own, it doesn't mean that you have to, and it doesn't mean that you should. Sometimes you have a better outcome when you collaborate, when you lean on your community that's giving you that support.
Yeah. I would like to add to that is something that I had to do or say to myself, and that was, is it working for me? Right? So, like, and that's how I actually got into the space of where I'm at today, because I went into a new environment. They were teaching me new things, and I was rejecting it so much. And I was like, well, let me look at my current state right now. Let me just try it, right? That's all I said was, let me just try it. And once I tried it, I'll say within a year or two, I now finally have my own home. I have my own car. I am almost debt free. I actually paid off all my credit cards. I just
Yeah.
had student loans, which I think is going to be wiped out because of whatever is about to happen in the government. And I've been, right? I've been
Take my
working
student
on
loan
this. Yes,
away.
take it away. But I've been working on this for 8 years to get to this point. But that was me trying to do it all on my own. And it took for me to get to a point in my life where I'm like, I'm actually not happy with where I'm at, even if it looks good to everyone else. I'm actually not happy. And I actually am in an environment of people that actually have done it. So they're teaching it back to their community.
So much easier.
So I was like, let me try what they're teaching. I'm like, if anything, if it doesn't work, then I can always go back to what I was doing before. Like, so if you want to, Sai, try out reaching out from your family or accepting that help, listening to those advice. Try it out. That's all you can do is try it out. Now, once you try it out and it doesn't work, then go back to what you were doing or try to figure out a whole new game plan. But I would say try it before you knock it. Unless, okay, let me see if I can grow this. Unless it's something that you are truly clear about. And I think I have to give an example for you guys to understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
And I think I shared this, I think I
Give an
shared this
example.
before. So, and this is career wise. So, my family, my mom told me, maybe you should go back to working at a job, right? Working at a job. My dad said, oh, work at the fire department. You'll make all this money and you can still work your business part time. You can most definitely do it. You can make it happen. Um, I actually, and what's the funny thing is, I actually tried it. I actually went back and worked part time. I actually went through the process of becoming a firefighter. I actually went through the process. I took the test. I passed the test. I was like, okay, maybe this is my journey. Maybe this is where I'm supposed to go. Um, I was actually, doing very well with all of those areas. I got a call back. The next step was to do a physical for the fire department, and in that moment, something was like, nah, this is not it. But at the same time, I had an opportunity that came. So the opportunity was to work for another company that was actually doing things in the field, and it was either that or working for the fire department. So of course, I told the company this is what my requirements are. This is what I'm looking for in order for me to make the decision of not working for the fire department. I'm like, if you could be able to provide that, then I'll go with you guys and I won't move forward with that. They were able to, we were able to come to some agreement, and I was working with them for a few months. It was crazy. I actually got fired, but then I got rehired as my own business. And that is when my business started to flourish. So, in moments like that, I actually tried both, right? I actually tried working a part time. I actually did what my parents told me to do, went through the whole process. But there was a moment when an opportunity arose where I had to make a choice. And that time is going to come. That time is going to come when you have to make a choice. And you'll be very clear of that choice. Because I was clear. Like, I was having arguments with my dad. He's like, why are you not going forward with the fire department? I'm like, I'm clear, Dad. I am so clear. I was like, I never felt this clear in my life to go forward with working with this other company, not knowing that I was going to get fired and not knowing I was going to get rehired, but as my own company. Like, so that's why I say try it. Try it out, whatever it is that your family is telling you to do, whatever it is that your friends are advising, or whatever it is, as long as it makes sense, try it. See if it works. And if it doesn't work, then you go back or do something new. But you can't, I would say to not fight it, because when you keep fighting against it, then you're going to keep going in this battle. You're going to keep going in the circle. You're going to keep being in the same space and not actually grow to where you want to be. Because I didn't know my business was going to be where it's at today, from just being a yes to a specific company to get only fired to actually get rehired. Right? That's crazy, right? It's like
I love how that turned out though.
right? Like, if you knew you were going to get fired, you would have probably, if I knew I was going to get fired, I probably would have stayed with the fire department, because I know that they wouldn't have fired me. But I took a risk, but it's not only a risk, it was a risk that I knew I wanted to be in. But at the same time, I did go through the process of becoming a firefighter. So when you stop fighting it and be with it, I think that's what it is, be with it.
Mm-hmm.
God is going to put it all together, and you just got to trust that process.
It's a part of the journey we on.
Yes.
There's gonna be many detours and exits and different roads to travel. But I love that. I love the story that you shared, and thank you for that. Um, yeah. And thank you, Sai, for sharing with us, what you were dealing with currently. We appreciate that as well. And we appreciate everybody for just being here on this platform with us, engaging with us, building this community. We are a community together, like we mentioned earlier. Um, we should be able to reach out to one another, everyone that's on this platform, and say, hey, how you doing? Or hey, I'm not doing great. you know
Mm-hmm.
um, so let's try to build these new habits and these new ways of thinking and looking and building these relationships that we're building with one another. um, so I said that's where I am, being with it. I will keep you queens updated. Yes, we definitely want to know.
Yes, absolutely.
Grow with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we gonna be we wrapping this up.
Yes, because it's time for us to go night and night.
Yes, it is. I'm not doing Clubhouse tonight. Early, I was like, maybe I can't. No,
No,
sorry.
but it was good. I was glad,
um,
I'm glad we were, able to be here in the space where it was needed.
Me too. I love it. It felt organic, and I got a lot of takeaways from tonight, and I'm hoping that you all took something away from this conversation that we had tonight. And just thank everybody. Thank you, Empress, for being vulnerable, and thank you everyone else for being vulnerable as well and sharing your stories with us as well. So let's continue this. We will see you guys next Monday.
But wait,
Um, we are considering changing it, or we're gonna definitely change it.
we'll give everyone an update on social media what we're gonna do, because Empress is back in school and trying to be in
Yeah.
class and set this up at the same time is becoming unworkable, I'll
Y'all
say.
have no idea, like the technical stuff that she does behind the scenes. like like us being at this point now where we're able to be streamed on multiple platforms at once, that's like all her. Like, you know, I just had to throw that out there.
Oh, thank
I just
you.
had to brag about you a little bit,
Thank you. Thank you. And if it wasn't for you coming up with this idea, we would not be doing this. I would not be
Thank
growing, trying to
you.
figure out how to do all of this stuff. So
Yes. And
thank
you
you.
know what? I wouldn't be talking to people as much because those that know me know. No. but
Yes,
um but everything goes the way that it goes for a reason, and I'm just happy to be on this journey with you. I'm happy to be on the journey with everyone that's here with us, whether you were able to tune in today or not. I'm just excited, and thank you to all the day ones and
back.
all the newcomers as well, because you're growing with us as we grow and expand. You want to say anything? Oh, I'm gonna just say this. Okay, y'all. So throwing this in there, Shannon Shannon Boutique is having a 25% off sale on selected items. So make sure you go and shop. I got some cute sweaters on there. I got the logo sweaters. I got this really cute fuzzy sweater that I love. It's super soft. Go check out the website, subscribe for free shipping and 10% off your purchase. And I think that's all I wanted to share in regards to Shannon
So,
Shannon Boutique.
I
Yeah.
was gonna say you said it all, but now I need to put this in practice as well.
Yes.
Because if
Got
I'm not
to.
talking about my business is going to stop
My
growing.
aunt said, "Don't tell me that." She be like Amazon on my website. Oh, we have
Yes.
sunglasses now too. I'm sorry, Empress. We have sunglasses, some really cute sunglasses. I Y'all might not know, but I am a sunglass collector. I love sunglasses. I have so many different shapes and styles of sunglasses. So I decided to add them to the boutique so that all of you can enjoy wearing sunglasses as well with me. And And shade is for all seasons. So you can be shady any season. So go shop. All right, sorry.
I
That's it.
love
I'm
that.
done. For real this time.
So wait, okay, so we're gonna keep it on you because we got a few questions, I believe. Sai said, Nala said, do you have kid sizes? Is that gonna be an extension?
That will be an extension. I do not have kid sizes yet, but I have something in the works. I'm working on it with my little mini Shannon. My little munchkin. We are working on that together. So hopefully by the end of this year, holiday season time, I'll be dropping a kids collection or an extension of the boutique, which will be a kids boutique. So yeah, not
Awesome.
yet though.
And she
Tell
said
Nala I
that,
said hi. Oh, I can't wait to see her in person again. She's such a little sweetheart.
yes, she said Nala wants fuzzy sweater and sunglasses. So have that order ready for her, okay? Because Nala
All
does
right,
not play.
you gotta
All
get her
right?
fuzzy sweater.
You gotta get her fuzzy sweater and some sunglasses.
No doubt, you got it.
And now, for all my entrepreneurs out there, whether if you're starting or rebranding or whatever it is that you're doing, I am a publicist, and the services that I offer are media relations. So, if you want to be in different news outlets, magazines, TV, I do that. I also do website design, and we're actually doing a lot of user experience tactics. So, like, if you have a website already and you want us to look over to see if it's functionable for your users, that is something that I just actually recently added in to do, and just making sure that your website is user friendly. And we also do social media management. So, if you have content, but you just don't have time to schedule it out, or don't have time to design it, um, we do that for you. And what else do we do? If you just want to talk to me about your business, how you can actually go to the next level, or anything related to that, you can also book a consultation with me. So you can go to elpragency.net. That's elpragency.net. And I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you ever need any services like that, just hit me up and I got you. Awesome.
I just put it in there for you.
Grazie.
elpragency.net.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, I've left out a W. I'm sorry.
As I said, just put elpragency.net.
Y'all get the gist, right?
Right. All right. Are we gonna wait for people to share what they do in the chat?
Um, we can give like a couple more minutes.
Awesome.
Definitely share. This is something we like to do before we log off of here. Is to make sure that everyone is getting to know each other. Share what you do in the chat, especially if you're new. Share what it is that you do and follow each other so that we can continue to support one another on our journey. Don't be shy.
Right. It's like it's four. Okay. So wait a minute. Technically, okay. So about a
Oh, I
few.
think everybody did pretty much share with each other.
Okay.
I was looking back.
Okay. Okay. Wait a minute. I just realized this is Auntie. Auntie. She changed her name, or no?
Shanice?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
she said that I'm a spiritual life coach. Right?
Yes.
Did you change your IG name? Auntie, did you change your IG name? If I'm not going crazy, unless I'm confusing her for someone else.
No, I think it was always this. I think it was always this name.
Okay, so maybe I haven't seen Auntie in a while. Okay, got you. Yes,
I
but she said it out loud. She is a spiritual life coach.
Woo!
Yes, we need to get her on here to talk because now we're gonna make it real.
I told her that she's gonna be coming on. She ready.
She ready? Okay. Next week?
I don't know. I'm just saying she ready. But she ready.
Yes. And Sai said, I am a licensed massage therapist and provide mobile in home experiences for special occasions, birthdays, bridal parties, wellness or spa day parties. Yes, I will be seeing her this weekend.
Oh, I can't wait to book my next session. Let
Yeah,
me listen. I'm gonna just take a moment to brag about Sai for a second. Like, first of all, I never really had a professional massage, so I didn't know what to expect. I thought I was just gonna get a massage. That's it. Like, she creates a whole experience. She creates a custom experience, like down to the scent that you want to have in the room. You pick the scents, like everything is customized from the massage to the candles to the music to everything. It's such an amazing experience. And then on top of it, she's extremely gifted with those hands. Like, it's
fact,
magic. Like, God
fact.
blessed.
Yes, no,
so so
yeah,
if I really if anyone on here that has not had a session with Harmonize and Heal, definitely book your session because she is the bomb. She's the truth with it. For real, for real.
yeah,
She
yes,
said you play too much Empress.
no. I saw.
Lanice.
We're gonna have her up
We
next
put you
week.
on blast, so
Get ready. Make sure you have your club outfit for next week. We're gonna have you on here, and we're gonna just talk. We just want to talk with you, and I'm serious too. So Chantel, make sure
yes,
we make that happen.
we will.
Yes, and then back to
You said,
side.
Auntie, you're gonna be
Yes,
on here. No, you don't need to take a trip. It's digital.
it's all digital. You just need a phone or a computer. You're good.
Your phone or your computer. That's all you're gonna need. Don't be showing your age, Auntie. Come on.
Yes, so we're gonna have her up here next week. She could join us
Oh, she
and
wasn't talking about us. I'm sorry. She was talking about Sai. Yeah, you're gonna need to probably make a trip to Sai.
oh yes, 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 yes for
She said I'm
Sai.
not talking to y'all.
Wait, Auntie, where are you from again? Did she say upstate?
No, she lives in Georgia.
Georgia. Oh, okay. That might be too far for Sai. Even though Sai
Yeah.
probably would
So,
travel out
so
to you.
Auntie, when you come up here to visit, when the weather gets warmer, we gonna book a session with Sai. She said I'm not talking to y'all.
Okay, Auntie.
She said I'm only 44. I'm sorry. I'm in trouble now. she gonna she gonna text me after this.
Oh my goodness. Oh man,
Yeah.
no, that's good.
Let's move off. Yeah, because I need to go to bed. I was actually. Oh, she was actually planning a trip to Georgia with intentions of providing services while I visit. Oh,
Oh,
look at
look
that!
at
It's
look
it's
at that.
divine.
I said Sai would go to Georgia. I said she would travel.
It is
Yes,
divine. Yes. Excuse me.
yes. All right, guys. So it is time for us to go nighty night.
Yeah, y'all
Well,
gonna have to move that to your own private messaging because we get off.
yes. So good night, everyone. Thank you for watching, and thank you for those who are watching the playback later. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you all
Thank
got
you.
something out of it. Um, and we are about to log off. So peace.
Juicers.